computer. Okay. So, first of all, I would like to welcome His Grace Nanda Kumar Krsna Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji is a very senior devotee, and like when he was 24 years of age, at that time he got connected to this Krishna Consciousness movement, and in 1998, Prabhuji even received the initiation back in 1998 during a Gaura Poornima festival at Mayapur. And currently, Prabhuji is serving in Washington DC. Is taking care of Bhakti Vrksa, Harinama, etc., and doing lot of services in Washington DC area as of now. So we welcome you, Prabhuji. We'll welcome Prabhuji one time by chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for coming and joining us and making us hear the Guru Maharaj nectar. Yes, please, over to you, Prabhuji. Please.
Sure. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami Niti Namine Namam Acharya Pada Nitaya Kripa Padayane Gaur Katha Dhamdaya Nagaram Tarine Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pacharne Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschate Starne Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamam Bande Sri Guru Dhinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. So thank you, Prabhu, for inviting me to this forum. I know this forum has been going on for a while. Initially, I got connected, and then I did not know actually that it was going to be the Seshadripuram forum. So I'm very glad to be here. I know this is famous all over the world. Many devotees speak, many senior devotees speak. So I'm very thankful to you for inviting me. So Guru Maharaj Katha, where do you start? Because there's so much you can say about Guru Maharaj. He's such a personality. So I was thinking where to start. Then, just became obvious that we should start with Prabhupada, because in Iskcon, everything we start with Prabhupada and then we end with Prabhupada. And this doesn't have to be any different, because Guru Maharaj's connection with Prabhupada, personally, spiritually, in many ways, is so obvious and so exceptional that that's where we can start. So, goes back to when Guru Maharaj met Prabhupada. So first I will just lay out the format in terms of what Guru Maharaj's position is, what Prabhupada said about him, what are the things he has done. I know the topic of today's discussion is Pastimes of Guru Maharaj, so we'll cover off. Can everybody hear me okay? I heard this question that, is it audible? Can everybody hear me okay? Can you give me a...
Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. So Prabhupada said so many things about him, gave him many instructions, and Guru Maharaj, as we see all these years, he has fulfilled those instructions nicely in a very exceptional way. And then later we'll talk about some of the pastimes with Guru Maharaj. One pastime I want to cover is his last meeting with Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, because that happened in this area. Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj used to live in Washington, and then he left his body in Gitanagari, so Guru Maharaj came for that. I'll cover that later part of this presentation. But first, we'll start with Guru Maharaj's connection with Prabhupada. So we can see right in the beginning that Guru Maharaj connected with Prabhupada or Iskcon right away. If you remember the history, he met devotees in San Francisco, and it was only a matter of few days that actually he joined. He came in contact with devotees, he left, and he came back, and he never went back again. I think it may have been like a Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, something like that. and Rath Yatra was on the weekend, and by weekend he was already shaved up and already part of Rath Yatra. Jayananda Prabhu, shaved him up for the first time. He gave him his first service. So these are many things we see that right from the beginning, Guru Maharaj was exceptional, and Krishna also had a plan for him. Prabhupada said many things about Guru Maharaj. At one meeting in Bombay, this was in the house of Nathji Prabhu. Nathji Prabhu is a very senior devotee in Chowpatty. He left his body a few years ago. I personally had some interaction with him also, a very exceptional devotee. So in his house, when his father was there, and he was a member of parliament, so Prabhupada had a program there. And Naji Prabhu also spoke about this, and Malti Mataji was also there. So there, Prabhupada said that you see this small boy sitting there, he's actually an associate of Lord Chaitanya. And then he said many other things about Guru Maharaj right from the beginning. So now we see, and even when Guru Maharaj was saying one time, or someone else was saying, that even Guru Maharaj was surprised to hear that Prabhupada said so. So we see right from the beginning that Prabhupada clearly knew what Guru Maharaj was going to do. He said he's an associate of Lord Chaitanya. In another instance, Prabhupada told Guru Maharaj that you were born in India in your previous life. And Guru Maharaj said, I'm so fallen, how can it be possible? And Prabhupada became very heavy, and he told him, do not doubt the words of your spiritual master. So Guru Maharaj was like, oh, sure, I must be born in India before, because he says so. So like this, we see there are many situations when Prabhupada said things to him or said things about him which were actually not ordinary. Like for example, when Guru Maharaj, he was in San Francisco, and then from there he went to Toronto. So in Toronto, he was the president, he was serving nicely. And then he wrote a letter to Guru Maharaj that I'd like to do something more. So Prabhupada said, wait. And then later he told him, you go to India. That's a big order. He was only like 20 or 21. To 2021 as a boy, basically, just an adult, but a young adult, right? And he told him that you go to India and join Achyutananda Prabhu, and then you serve there. And then Guru Maharaj went, he joined him in Calcutta, and later he went to Mayapur, and many things unfolded after that. Then Prabhupada also said that he will preach to Bengali people on a large scale. And we see that there are thousands and thousands of his Bengali disciples, not only in India, but more so in Bangladesh. And actually Bangladesh, that's a whole different environment. I've personally not been there, but I heard so many things about it and watched so many videos of how Guru Maharaj has influenced thousands and thousands of people there. Then Prabhupada also asked him about the development of Mayapur, that he told him that I'm giving you the kingdom of God, now you develop it. Now at that time when Prabhupada told him that, Mayapur was a very small place. As far as I know, it was the grass hut, and it was the conch building, and maybe the long building under construction, Chakra building under construction, but not the other ones. And then these 4 buildings came up, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, and Padma, then Brahmachari Ashram, then all these places, the Grihastha areas, then later Prabhupada Samadhi, so many things developed. Now, when we see the Mayapur, it has been an effort of so many of devotees and so many of Guru Maharaj's God brothers also. But what his contribution stands out is that he has provided that exceptional leadership, that through thick and thin, he has provided such decisions and such advice that it has carried Mayapur through all its stages of development to the way it is today. Now Mayapur is like a city, basically. You go for Gaura Poornima, it's crowded. Not only that, if you go for smaller festivals, like for example, you go for Julan Yatra. Julan Yatra is not very much advertised around the world. One year we were there, and I was expecting it'll be a Julan Yatra, all the Mayapur devotees will be there, some simple arrangement, but actually it was a whole big arrangement there. So all these festivals have developed primarily because of the leadership of Guru Maharaj. So there are many things Prabhupada said about him, and they have all come to true, and more so, they are coming to true. Prabhupada also gave him many instructions, and those instructions also Guru Maharaj has fulfilled very nicely. For example, like I was saying earlier, that he asked him to develop Mayapur, and then Mayapur is developed, and it will continue to develop. And then he gave him instructions about book distribution. Now that's an actually interesting one. So book distribution he's doing for many years through his disciples and himself directly. But during pandemic, we got to a point where the book distribution was almost stopped because everything was frozen, right? No traveling, nothing, no face-to-face or person-to-person contact. But Guru Maharaj is so creative, he immediately came up with the idea of virtual book table. Now, virtual book table, the table itself doesn't exist, but he calls it virtual book table. And then from there, since then, even now, he's been distributing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books. Initially, he didn't even have the book table. It was only virtual. Now on the rooftop, during his classes, there is a physical table also, but it's very effective in a virtual way. So we see that when things are not favorable, he is very creative, very intelligent, and very empowered to come up with ideas of how to work around situations. And this was the case actually so many times. You see, he's not traveling so much. All these years he was traveling, right? And that's also some of it I'll cover later. But traveling to all these different countries with different visa rules, with different connection, with different flights, with different environments, the arrangements for to stay, arrangements for preaching, arrangement for prasadam, it's not an easy thing that he's changing countries every day, every other day. Some days he traveled, I believe, one point he traveled 3 countries in a day. Must have been smaller countries, but he went through 3 countries in a day. Now think about it, coming in the country, leaving the country, all the visa and all the. So he's so intelligent and so empowered that he can somehow work through all situations and guide even all his secretaries how to work through those situations. So he is very empowered, and when Prabhupada said many things about him, all these have come to true, and that only shows and confirms that whatever Prabhupada said, it must be true. Whatever he has written in his book must be true, and whatever he has said about Guru Maharaj must also be true, and we see actually it is happening. So that sets the stage right there that Guru Maharaj is not an ordinary person. He's a person who is an associate of Lord Chaitanya. He's been sent, and whoever is connected with him, all of us, we're actually very fortunate to be part of his family. Personally, I would say it's been a long time I took initiation. I have done little service, but all along I never felt that there was something wrong. I always felt that I was so fortunate to be connected with him. And whoever takes shelter of him and takes initiation from him, if they stick to Prabhupada, there is no doubt that they will feel out of place with Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj will always be there for them. It's amazing how he does it. He's got close to 58,000 disciples. The last thing I heard may have been close to 60 now. And he publicly will announce his email that if you have anything, write to jayapataka@gmail.com, right? Who would do that, right? Jayapataka@gmail.com, simple email. Anybody can write to him, and a lot of devotees, he responds also. Sometimes he may not respond because if there are too many emails, he may not. But actually, he responds to a lot of these emails. And this I can see personally also. One time we were in Mayapur, we were visiting, so I went to the rooftop and I asked if I can do some service. This was may have been 8 or 10 years ago. It was after the stroke. So they gave me his phone. At that time, it used to be BlackBerry. Later, iPhone came, but it used to be BlackBerry. and they gave me his BlackBerry and they said, okay, you go with him in the bathroom in the morning and then you help him. So I was sitting on the side and they were taking care of his bodily needs, whatever it was. Took about 45 minutes in the bathroom. All along that, he wasn't even like concerned about what was going on in the bathroom. Servants were taking care of his body. He was totally focused on the communications. So I was reading email one by one and he was responding, and then he was just as if he was sitting on his desk and he was responding himself. So focused. So when he is so focused and so capable and so empowered, that's how he's able to do so many things. So he's able to communicate with devotees, he's able to respond to those devotees. And even physically, we see that he is able to do a lot of things. For example, traveling wise, or even when he's in Mayapur, he will attend many, many events, and you would wonder how is he doing that, because being on the wheelchair and physically a little limited, it's not easy to move around. But regardless of that, he is able to do all these things. So when Prabhupada said all these things about him, we see that actually they are coming to true. So we are very fortunate to be connected with him. There are a few things I want to cover a little more in detail about his, the Mayapur development, and about his preaching also. That when Prabhupada asked him to preach and he asked him to travel, this was, I believe, in the room. There was 3 sannyasis, and Prabhupada said that I've been cursed to not have a place to stay, but now I need a place to stay because I'm getting old. So I ask you to take my curse. And at that time, there were 3 sannyasis in the room. And this is coming from Guru Maharaj himself explaining. Later, he was saying that of the 3, I'm the only one who is actually still a sannyasi. So basically, I have to take that curse which was for Prabhupada, and I have to travel. And he traveled vigorously. Vigorously means vigorously. So during these travels, I had the good fortune of doing some of his visas. And the reason is not because of something I had to offer, but because I was in Washington. So Washington has all the embassies. So because they're all there, so it is easier for Guru Maharaj to get all his visas in one place rather than going to different places. And also trying to get visas in India is harder because sometimes the rules are different. Sometimes the lines are longer. Sometimes it just takes too much time to go to these consulates and go through all the process. So what he used to do is he would this he did for a few years. So he would as soon as he came to America, he would just send the passport directly from the airport itself. He would send the passport, and then we will get all his visas, the visas to many countries. He has the green card, so green card would allow him to go many countries, but there are some countries where he had to get the visa. So we'll work through his visas, get him the visa, and give him the passport back, ship it back to him. He physically, sometimes he would come, but most of the time he never came. He just sent the passport, and then we do the visas, and then we send it back to him. And then he used to travel. There were many visas like that, like Russia was there, then Slovenia, Bosnia, Lithuania, Poland, Bangladesh, Malaysia, Brazil, Argentina, and I may be forgetting some countries. So all these years, he would just manage all these visas, not just for himself, but his secretaries also, and then he would travel. So all along, his preaching has been very exceptional. One other thing regarding preaching is, this is something I think you must have also noticed, that when he's in South America, the devotees in South America thinks he's just one of them. He will understand their culture, he will understand what they like or not like, what the whole social dynamics, how they work, and he will understand everything, and he'll interact with them accordingly. That happens in South America. I've seen in Atlanta also for the Panihati festival, many South American devotees would come and he'll interact them in a one way. Then he goes to Bangladesh, and then Bangladesh also, when he deals with Bengali devotees, they think that he's one of them. Then he goes to Middle East or in South India, dealing mainly with South Indian devotees, and then South Indian devotees think that he's one of them. Same with North Indian devotees. And in America also he comes, there are many of his disciples who are from Western origin, and they think that he's one of them. Actually, he grew up here. So in many ways he can connect with them because he understands their culture. So like that, I've seen that he is such a dynamic person that he can connect with anybody from whatever their background is. Like there was one instance in Malaysia or South India, some big businessman came to, he was like a cloth merchant or something. This happened recently. So they brought it to Guru Maharaj, and Guru Maharaj told him, oh, you know what, I use 3X t-shirts and they never sell here, but you all make it and you send it to America and I have to import it from there. So this is how he started the conversation with him, with this cloth merchant in South India, because they make all these big t-shirts, but people are not that big in India. Here they are bigger, so they send them here. And Guru Maharaj usually he buys his t-shirts here because he needs a particular size. So he started the conversation like that. So the person was very enlivened to interact with him, and he said, oh, I can provide you t-shirts here, you don't have to get it from there. So like that, he has ways to connect with devotees to where they are. That's something very unique and very special about Guru Maharaj. Then another thing that happened recently was this whole pandemic situation, right? So in pandemic, everything froze. Like I was saying earlier, that everything became very quiet. Book distribution stopped, temples were all empty, and no traveling was going on. Then at that time, Guru Maharaj came up with the idea of the Zoom classes. And when he started that became a whole new world, and everybody was actually later inspired by that. I would say in Iskcon, if not the first, one of the first ones to use Zoom or internet for preaching is Guru Maharaj, because as soon as this pandemic came in, Guru Maharaj was very active. He started the Zoom class. It started in a small way, but gradually it became bigger and bigger because he was personally interacting with all the devotees on the call, which was very difficult to get in personal association. If he visited your area, if you go to Mayapur or some other place, it was much harder because there's so much going on, many devotees, but now you're on Zoom face to face with him, and he comes to your house one by one, visiting your house. As soon as devotees heard that, they became so active, so excited that people started joining Zoom. So then the Zoom became very popular. And actually, the Zoom thing is a whole program in itself in different parts of the world. I think devotees in Australia was a little difficult, but rest of the world, actually people were coming. For us here in America, because he was doing the classes in the evening, it used to be morning for us, so it became a morning program for us because he gives the class, and then while we are doing the offering and after class, we bring the offering for him to see, to respect the offering, because he used to look at the offering because it's Krishna Prasad he would respect. And then that's how it became a morning program for us. But many devotees all over the world, it became like a daily thing. And there were devotees coming regularly and very happy, very smiling faces every day getting this attention. And some days, if you don't get his attention, you would be disappointed, but the next day you get it again. So there's this whole dynamics about interacting with Guru Maharaj on a daily basis. So then that grew to the extent that it was not possible to get everybody in. So they divided by the zones, that if you're in North America, you come on this day. If you're in Bangladesh, you come this day. South India, you come this day. So like that, it became bigger and bigger and bigger. And now this whole Chaitanya Leela class, see, he's actually doing the translation of the books. He's collecting Chaitanya Leela from different sources and putting it together for his book. When Srila Prabhupada wrote his commentaries on Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, he did something similar also. Actually, Guru Maharaj is following in his footsteps, that you refer to all these sources and then you compile the commentary. That's what Prabhupada did. But Prabhupada did just by himself, that he would sit early in the morning, and those days were different. Prabhupada sat in his room early in the morning, and then he would dictate on his dictaphone, and then he would send the tapes, and then devotees would transcribe it, and that will become the book. They'll edit it also a little bit. With Guru Maharaj, he's doing the same thing with Chaitanya Leela, but he is doing in public. Not only that, on internet. That whatever Chaitanya Leela he's doing every day actually is the translation and commentary he's doing for his book, which will be published later. So we see that he will leave no opportunity unused when it comes to preaching. He's translating, so he's letting everybody hear. Everybody is hearing Chaitanya Leela, and at the same time they are connecting with Guru Maharaj and doing service to him and also getting to hear from him. Not only that, as I was saying earlier, he made the virtual table part of that effort. So out of nowhere, so to speak, he has this translation going on. Then devotees are hearing Chaitanya Leela. Then devotees are cooking whatever they are doing, and they are offering different things to him, either prasadam or flowers. And now there is a virtual table going on. And then after that, he's answering all their questions. And some of them are personal, and some of them, if they are like, philosophical questions. If personal questions he can answer, he will answer. If not, he will openly say, write to me at jayapataka@gmail.com. So he's basically completely open. There's no private moment for him. And this is something I've also noticed all these years, even before the stroke, that he was always a public person. That even in the Parikrama we would go, or in the Mayapur, there was always someone with him. He was never rarely he was by himself. He was always surrounded with devotees. And more so now, after the pandemic and after his stroke, that he's always surrounded by devotees. You will rarely see him alone. And that's something we see actually is the qualities of great souls, that they are, in some cases, great souls may be alone, but those who are preachers, they're always with people trying to help them. So we see all these qualities of Guru Maharaj. Another preaching effort I've seen with him is this Panihati festival, which he does in Atlanta. And I believe the original idea came when he used to be part of the Panihati festival in Panihati itself. That Guru Maharaj also himself describes in multiple occasions that when he first went to Panihati, then it was a big festival. He was part of it, and then Gaurnitai deities came, and then the offerings were coming. It was very crowded. It's actually a very small place there. And then devotees were almost to the edge of Ganga river because it's right on the bank of Ganges. And then he attended the whole Panihati festival, initially a few years. And later he brought the idea of Panihati festival to multiple areas. One area he brought it in a significant way is New Panihati Dham, which is Atlanta, which he has been doing for almost 25 to 30 years. The whole festival, and actually the whole yatra, the main attraction of the year is not Janmashtami or anything else, but it's the Panihati festival. And Guru Maharaj has put together that festival along with the help of his devotees. And then he brought in, initially started with the simple dahi chira, and then later he brought in offerings from different parts of the world, from South American offering, North American offering, Indian offering, South Indian offering, Thailand, and different recipes, different cuisines. He brought all of them together, and then he used to make all those preparations. Then one of the years, his mother, she actually told him that you're doing all this offering, giving out free, why don't you auction it? So he took on that idea from his mother, and then he started auctioning those. So when he started auctioning those big pots, it became like auction mela, It's a spiritual environment, very joyful environment, and everybody's bidding on the biggest pot. So he used to start with the biggest pot, okay, 3001, 3002, 3003. He would do actually the bidding just like they do bidding in the commercial market. And devotees used to be so excited, okay, 3000 going once, 3000 going twice, 3000 going, and someone raises the hand, okay, 4000, okay, 4000, okay, 4000 going once, 4000 going, and that's how he would raise the bidding. And some of the pots he will take all the way to 6, 7, 8,000. So then he with the smaller parts and he will do all that. So basically that used to be a lot of Lakshmi collected for the temple, and devotees got to serve. And also it became a nice engagement for the devotees. The whole auction thing was the final thing. It still happens. But Guru Maharaj started that auction because of advice from his mother. So his preaching is so dynamic that he is very, very open to any idea which will further the cause of Krishna consciousness. I remember when the computers first came, whenever you get a new technology, the general sense in Iskcon could be, not always, but sometimes, that this is Maya. Because, it just, the more technology you get into, the more risky it gets because it exposes you to so many things you shouldn't be seeing. So when the computers first came, it was not very easily accepted in Iskcon, at least the initial years, like 90s. But Guru Maharaj took it on right away. And now we see we are on computer now, right? All of us are on the computer and phone now. But Guru Maharaj at that time, he used to carry a very large computer. It was a very big computer. He used to carry almost half of his check-in luggage, but he would use it because he would use that to write up all his emails. And whenever he could connect, he would connect and push a button to send all the emails. So on the flight, he was typing, on the traveling, he was typing, but there was no internet connection. He would just go to some place, hook it up, and send all the emails. So that's how he started. So now I think this is all about the preaching and position of Prabhupada, of Guru Maharaj. So we are, I think, how long do we have Prabhu now?
Prabhuji, maybe you can continue till 8:50, 8:55, and then devotees, if they have any question, they can ask. If not, then maybe some more pastimes. And generally, we close by 9, 9:05, 9:10.
Right. Okay, sounds good, Prabhu. So I'll come to a few of the pastimes. One particular thing I wanted to highlight was his visit with His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. This is in year 2005. So Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, he had prayed to Prabhupada at some point that there's so much suffering in the world. If I can take on some suffering, I will be happy to do so. And I believe right after he made that prayer, he was diagnosed with a cancer in the foot. So he was here in Washington area at that time. So the diagnosis happened right here. And then after that, he tried many alternate treatments, many things he tried, but it was not working. He went to Mexico also for some natural treatment. It did not work. Eventually, he came back to Washington. And then he was getting weaker and weaker, and it reached the point where he knew that he would have to leave. So he stayed in this institute area. There's an institute, IFAST, Institute for Applied Spiritual Technology. Because Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj was so creative that he did not want to call Iskcon as a religion, but actually he called it as a Institute for Applied Spiritual Technologies. And he would present it to professors, to universities, to intelligentsia, to all these learned peoples, this whole Krishna consciousness in a very scientific manner. So he had his institute. He still has institute. So he came back here, and eventually he went to Gita Nagari to leave his body. So Guru Maharaj, all his god brothers, a lot of them actually, they came to see him for the last time. So when Guru Maharaj came, he came to, I believe he either came to Washington or he came to Pittsburgh, one of those airports. I don't remember exactly where he came. So I was asked to pick him up. I went there, I picked him up. And then we went straight to, I think it was probably Washington airport. So we went straight to New Vrindavan first. It was the Festival of Inspiration. They used to have those festivals in those years. They were very popular. A lot of sannyasis used to come, a lot of devotees used to come. So Guru Maharaj went there straight from here to Festival of Inspiration, New Vrindavan. So we reached there Friday around noon or so. Then he spent Friday evening with a lot of devotees. A lot of devotees came to get his association. And Saturday morning, he said, I want to go see Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. So even the festival barely started, but he actually wanted to go see. So we drove from New Vrindavan to Gita Nagari, which is about 3 hours, 4 hours, something like that. So when he came, everybody knows Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. Is that correct? Is that devotees do they know Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj? Can anybody say if you know Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj? Have you heard about him? Okay. Anyways, I will
We
just,
know.
you know, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, he was getting more and more sick with the cancer raging his body, and it was becoming very painful for him. So when Guru Maharaj arrived there, it was a very emotional situation because Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj was crying very heavily, very profusely. He was crying that I've been waiting for you to come, and now you have come. So Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, this was in his room where we actually left his body in the same room. So Guru Maharaj went there, and Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj always considered Guru Maharaj as his older brother, spiritually, materially, not materially, really, spiritually, in every sense, he considered him as his older brother. So when Guru Maharaj went, Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj he basically, from what he said multiple times, that I want to leave my body in your presence. But Guru Maharaj was there only for 3 days or so. So Guru Maharaj spoke to him for a little bit, and then some of the things they spoke only between both of them. That was their last private meeting. They spoke many things in public, but for some of the meetings, they asked everybody to go out and they spoke certain things. Then after that, Guru Maharaj read Chaitanya Charitamrita to him, and then all along, he was just crying. He was constantly crying that he said, I want to leave now. If I had the option to leave, this is when I want to leave. But Guru Maharaj was, talking to him. Then Guru Maharaj stayed in the basement of that building. So it's a 2-level building, and typically that's how they have it here. So Guru Maharaj wanted to stay close to him, so they asked him to stay in the basement. So Guru Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj then said, I'm sorry, actually, I have to put you in the basement. I'm feeling very bad. Guru Maharaj said, no, I just want to be close to you. It doesn't matter where I am. I just want to be close to you. So that's how they spoke. And Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj was, he just wanted as much as of his association. Then when Guru Maharaj was leaving, so he stayed for 2 days. It was Himalavanya Prabhu also. And then 3 of us went. So he spent a lot of time with him. But it went by very fast because it was only Saturday and Sunday he spent. Sunday, I believe Sunday evening he had to leave, or Monday evening, one of those days. So when the time came to leave, then Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, he became very emotional and very, he was crying very heavily that I will not be able to see you in this life physically anymore. Guru Maharaj was trying to control because he was also very much moved by this whole situation because they were very close. Even in Parikrama, if you would see Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, he used to come. He was black sannyasi from here. Prabhupada appreciated Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj so much, and he had done so much preaching. Actually, one time Prabhupada got up and gave him a hug. And one time he asked all the devotees to pray for Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj because he was preaching behind the Iron Curtain in Russia and Eastern European countries, which was difficult. So Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj had done a lot of important service for Prabhupada. And Guru Maharaj and Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, they were very close friends right from the beginning. Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj used to come every year for this Gaur Mandal Parikrama. And he would be very fired up. Like the most energetic sannyasi you can see in those days in Mayapur was Bhakti Tirtha Swami. He was physically very active. He will dance all day in the Parikrama, and then as soon as the day is over, everybody's settling down, he's gone. And next day early in the morning he's back again. He didn't stay so much in the camp. He stayed in the temple, our temple. But Guru Maharaj used to stay in the camp. That's another thing. Maybe if we get time, I can touch on that, how Guru Maharaj used to do all those parikramas. So Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj had a very active participation in parikramas, and they were very close. So when he was leaving, Guru Maharaj was leaving, Then Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, he was crying very, very heavily. And then finally Guru Maharaj got up to leave, and then he went to the bathroom in the same room, because that room had a bathroom for Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. He went in the bathroom, he went in, he came out, and he just went straight out the room. And then he just was he didn't want to basically express a lot of his emotion, but it seemed like he was feeling a lot of separation from Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj already. So he left that room, he came out, and then he asked us that, does Maharaj have a bottle of nourishing oil? So I went inside and asked his secretaries that, do you have a bottle of nourishing oil? They said no. So Guru Maharaj said, okay, here, leave one bottle, and they should apply every day to him. One other thing which Guru Maharaj told him at that time was, Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, Guru Maharaj for many years, he used to travel with a picture of Panchamukhi Hanuman. This was mainly to keep the subtle living entities away. So he used to carry that picture for many years. He would, as soon as he would rest in the night, he would take out the picture. It was a color. I saw that picture multiple times. And eventually he gave it to Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. So it was a colorful picture of Panchamukhi Hanuman about this size. And it used to be in his luggage. So he would take it out and set it on the table where he actually took rest in the night. So in that particular visit, he took out that picture and he gave it to Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. He said, you keep it with you. If anybody tries to bother you, any subtle living entities or anybody is trying to bother, this Panchamukhi will take care of them. Nobody messes with this Panchamukhi Hanuman. That's what he told him. Something like that. He said, nobody messes. Something like that he said in a strong way. So Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj said, whatever you give me, I'll accept. So he took that book, and I think they put that picture on the wall in front of him. And after Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj passed away, he left his body. For sometimes when we went back for darshan of his room and the whole place, we saw that picture was still there. So like that, so Guru Maharaj came out, he gave him the picture, he gave him this nourishing oil, and then he left. And then he left. As soon as we got in the car, and Guru Maharaj changed the topic completely. He did not even mention anything about it. Nothing. And then we went to Pittsburgh airport, then he took a flight, and then he left there. So this was his whole interaction with Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. Now initially I was saying that Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj used to come in Mayapur. So Mayapur also, Guru Maharaj had a very active role in Parikrama, and we all know that. But to observe it firsthand, to see it firsthand, was such a treat. It was such an encouragement. Actually, my initial years, I didn't have a lot of association with my god brothers because there were not many around me. But my main association was Guru Maharaj was on the Parikrama, and that inspired me so much, that the way he was doing the whole thing, that these were the predictions of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, that if there is a Parikrama going on, that will reach Krishna consciousness all over the world. Now, who would think that just by doing Parikrama, the Krishna consciousness will actually grow all over the world? But actually, Guru Maharaj could see, and we see now, that because of the development of Mayapur and the Parikrama, actually preaching has grown quite a lot. So Guru Maharaj used to personally arrange those things, all the tents, because we would stay every night in a different tent. Guru Maharaj also had a tent, but he had a different tent, a small one, where he would be with himself or some of his god brothers, and some arrangements were there for him so that he can do things quickly. And at that time, I remember our Bhakti Nityananda Maharaj, who left his body about a month ago, right? He used to be Nitai Prasad Prabhu. And then Guru Maharaj used to depend so much on Nitai Prasad Prabhu that he would call him again. So the way it used to work is Guru Maharaj will do Parikrama, he'll go to different places, all the devotees, and he'll take care of everything, present the pastimes, and just have a very lively day of Parikrama. Then eventually when you come back, everybody's tired because it's a long day, a lot of walking, it's hot also. Everybody's tired, and now the arrangements have to be there. So Guru Maharaj would immediately jump in and make sure all arrangements are okay. So then he had his group of assistants to help him to make sure everything was done. And those are local devotees. And one of them was, the main one was Nitai Prasad. So as soon as he got there, he would look for Nitai Prasad. Nitai Prasad, Nitai Prasad, Nitai Prasad. I heard him say so many times. And Nitai Prasad Prabhu, he would just run around him like a small boy, yes, Guru Maharaj, yes, Guru Maharaj, yes, Guru Maharaj. Like, okay, tell me what to do, tell me what to do. He was so surrendered and he would do whatever was needed. One was him, Nitai Prasad Prabhu, Bhakti Nityananda Maharaj, and another was our Radharaman Maharaj. He also used to do a lot of service in those days. He still does. So, but particularly Bhakti Nityananda Maharaj, he made a lot of local arrangements. Now, he's not the only one who made arrangements. There are a lot of other devotees who did. It just came to my mind because he just left recently and we have known him for many years. That's something I noticed. So Guru Maharaj used to make all these arrangements in Parikrama, and it used to be a very successful 1 week of Parikrama. And after that, we come back and 1 week of full festival in Mayapur. And that time, so many sannyasis would come. They have very lively kirtans. There are so many classes going on. Guru Maharaj used to give class at 5 p.m. on his rooftop. And he would give a class on Chaitanya Leela. And I think he's still doing it after 20-25 years. But he used to give that class every single day in the festival also. I think that's been his main focus all these years, to give classes on Chaitanya Leela. So these are some of the pastimes. Few other things I would say. There was one situation here. These are just like independent pastimes. I'll just say a few things which are coming to my mind. Is when Guru Maharaj, when you travel with him, which we did a little bit here, especially by driving. I didn't so much go on the plane with him, mainly driving. Whenever he came to this area, then we drove. So many times he would like to go to Walmart. There's something I noticed. Like if there's a Walmart on the way, then he wanted to go. So generally people here, they think Walmart is kind of a very not so high class store, right? Because everything is cheap, you don't have to negotiate. That's the cheapest price you'll ever get anywhere if you are shopping for something. So Guru Maharaj always, if he saw Walmart, if he needed something, he'll stop by. He'll just go in the Walmart. So a few times we went in the Walmart with him and he would buy things. One time he bought pant and shirt because right after that he had to go to Middle East and he didn't have a pant and shirt. So he tried a pant and a shirt and in a dressing room. And then he was asking, so how does this look? I said, this looks good, Guru Maharaj. So he said, okay, I'll buy that. Which one you like, gray or brown? So I said whatever I thought liked at that time. And he said, okay, if you like this one, I'll buy this one. Then he bought the clothes. Then he bought some herbs, like I think dhania or mint or something. I don't know. He needed something. He wanted to buy something. But the weight of that thing was very light. Dhania if you buy or mint if you buy, pudina, तो उसका वजन बहुत कम होता है. So we put in this plastic bag, which is the food grade bag, and in that you go and then you weigh and then you pay for it, right? जो प्लास्टिक का पतला सा बैग होता है ना जिसमें आप सब्जी डालते हो, वो वाला. So he gave me कि इसको डालो, so I put it and then I put it in the cart and we brought it to the checkout. So checkout में गुरु महाराज बोले आधा तो वजन तो बैग का है. ये धनिया तो इतना सा है, half the weight is the bag. So उन्होंने क्या किया, वो बैग को आधा फाड़ा. वो प्लास्टिक का बैग का क्या वजन होगा? There's no weight at all, right? उसको आधा फाड़ के फेंका, फिर आधे को उन्होंने गांठ लगाई और बोला इसको चेकआउट करो. So I was so amazed to see that he was, one thing I noticed with Guru Maharaj, that he is, even though he gets a lot of Lakshmi and he spends a lot of Lakshmi, he is also very frugal. That I have seen many occasions. This was one occasion. Another occasion was when he came in Washington. This was before his stroke. That we parked the car in the garage. So he came in the car. So I drove the car, and then we were just leaving the garage. So we paid $5 for the parking. So I paid by the card, and then I was closing the window. Guru Maharaj said, no, take the receipt. I said, Guru Maharaj, $5, what do I do with the receipt? He said, no, take the receipt and put it on your taxes. You'll get $1.50 back. Because you pick me up, I'm working for a non-profit. This is your donation to non-profit. So $5 का जो receipt था, he asked me to take the receipt and he said, put it on your taxes. अब गुरु महाराज is so aware, so conscious, उनको ये भी पता है कि ये $1.5 टैक्स में बचेगा तो इसको बचाओ. And actually it happened early on also that when I came first, he asked me what my income was, how much I was paying taxes. He asked me that. So he said, oh, you're paying too much taxes. So then he asked some devotees to give some tips on how to save taxes. And then he's, unka kya, why would he advise me on this? But he is just such an all-rounder that he is not he doesn't have a stereotype ki guru means it should be like this. जो situation होता है वहाँ पे Guru Maharaj, he will just do what is the best. So I've seen also that he is very careful with his money, but also I've seen in some occasion he will spend a lot of money for a particular purpose. For example, that's a whole topic I had to cover, this whole Bhaktivedanta Charity Trust, which actually was created for Guru Maharaj to reclaim all these places of Lord Chaitanya's pastimes and also the ancient places of Goswamis. So there Guru Maharaj has built this whole system of acquiring these places, and these places, they are not cheap, they are expensive. And Guru Maharaj actually, he tries everything he can to acquire those places. Some of these places are, for example, there was one place we used to go in Parikrama where the family's son became the disciple of Guru Maharaj. So that's how we acquired that place. Iskcon acquired that place. I remember still the temple. He did not change anything in the temple, but the descendant or the young son became his disciple. So that's how it became connected with Iskcon. Then the whole Rajapur temple came. Then the Kanai Narshala temple, which is actually a very remote location on the border of Bihar and Bengal. All that has been developed by the efforts of Guru Maharaj. Actually, it is such a remote place. And we went there in 98. That time it was infested with dacoits. And we were told to leave that temple before sunset because people might attack. That was the situation. But the temple is running. There's Pujari there, there's Seva going on, everything going on, building is there, deities are there. But if there was a large number of devotees, then there was a risk. So Guru Maharaj spent a lot of time and energy building the temple. Then there are multiple places in Bangladesh which Guru Maharaj has worked for many years to acquire those places through Bhaktivedanta Charity Trust. And this charity trust actually was created by Srila Prabhupada, and he made Guru Maharaj the lifetime chairman. Ki you be there and this is the purpose. So then Guru Maharaj has clearly fulfilled that order. There's a lot more to be done, but Guru Maharaj is always thinking about how to acquire those places before they are lost. So we don't hear a lot of this, but in the background, there's a lot of these services which Prabhupada gave him, and he has not lost focus on any of them. And Prabhupada gave him many instructions, and he's kept up all of them. So there's a lot more that can be said about that. Then uniting all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, he's doing a lot on that. I can speak on that also, but I think we are at 9:30 now. So maybe we can take a pause here. If anybody has any questions or comments, I think we can discuss those. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Uh,
Prabhu.
Any devotees having any questions? So it's the time to ask, Prabhuji. Okay. Any comments? Anand Vihari Krishna Prabhuji, anything you want to share? To comment?
Was it clear whatever we discussed?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam, this is Anand Vihari Krishna's Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
I really wait for this program to meet all the senior devotees, and because we being so junior, just the lowest most devotees of Guru Maharaj, so we get the chance to hear from you all senior devotees, and this helps us to get connected with Guru Maharaj. So thanks a lot from bottom of my heart, Guru. Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. For senior and junior, I would say we're all in the family of Guru Maharaj. We have his mercy. That's more important than anything. It's just a matter of years. Other than that, Guru Maharaj is very kind. No matter where we are in terms of number of years, he is equally kind to all of us. That is a fact.
And
Yes.
there's one thing what you said, that yes, when one gets connected to Guru Maharaj, and this one feeling I always feel that, or that my experience since last 2.5 years, because though I'm associated with other temples also, with other, but I always feel the family which Guru Maharaj has built up for his devotees, the devotees family. I think so, with all due respect to all the families, but I think so Guru Maharaj, the way he has created and made us the family members, so that is the best. I always, that is, I generally I vouch at quite many other places also, that I always say that I don't know, I'm so unfortunate, but I have been made so fortunate by Guru Maharaj mercy, that he has made me one member of this family, because the way I feel Guru Maharaj devotee family works, we everyone supports each other, tries to pull each other. Because there are many other groups I find, even I don't know whether I should say or not, but I feel that yes, the frog race is there. Somebody is trying to pull you there also. I always say that is enough for professional world here, not here. So what? But in Guru Maharaj family, the way he has created the culture and the bonding he has made all of us really great. And I what you were saying, I've experienced that. I vouch for that, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Actually, Prabhu, this is a very good point what you made. I'll just add a little more to it. So the family is created as an open family. No matter where whose disciple devotees are, if they come in, they feel very welcome. And you can see on multiple occasions, Guru Maharaj does not discriminate whether he's disciple or a Shiksha disciple. He has no such thing as this is Diksha, this is Shiksha. It does not exist, right? That's one thing. Second thing, when Guru Maharaj's stroke happened in 2008, so I was there. So we were just sitting and talking. And at that time, I believe Narugopal Prabhu was at least one of the managing directors of Mayapur. So I asked him, Prabhu, tell me one thing. This in Mayapur management, mostly they are disciples of Guru Maharaj, right? But Mayapur is an international center. So everybody must feel welcome. If everything is managed by disciples of Guru Maharaj and everybody must feel welcome, how do you make it work? Because some people might feel that they are not part of it. He said, Guru Maharaj ne hamare sar mein thok thok ke bar rakha hai कि we have to be cooperative and accommodating for everybody. बोला ये जो घुट्टी है हमको शुरू से उन्होंने बार बार पिलाई है. That he has hammered in our head that we have to open to everybody. Our family is a full family of Iskcon. It's not just disciples. And that actually, because of that reason, I feel that Guru Maharaj disciples have grown because they feel like part of the same family. So that actually is a very good point we brought up. That Guru Maharaj is very open in that sense. He's just open to anybody who wants to take help. Yeah, nice. Thank you for bringing up that point. It was a very good one. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
There's a comment. Oh, someone asked about Panchamukhi Hanuman and Narsingha oil. So Guru Maharaj actually gave Narsingha oil to him to apply on his forehead, but he gave him a picture of Panchamukhi Hanuman to keep near him, so no subtle entities, Bhoot, Pret, whatever they are, they will not bother him. So that's what it was. I think someone asked that, so I'm just responding to that. Anything else?
So any devotee, any other question or anything, please share. And personally, like Prabhuji, when you were talking about different pastimes and different lilas of Guru Maharaj, and especially when you were talking about Parikrama, actually I love Parikrama very much, and I generally try like to attend it as much as possible. And in 2013, I attended my very first Parikrama. So basically, I got connected to Krishna Consciousness in 2010 when I was in NIT Allahabad, NIT Priyal now. So, but in 2013, I went for the Parikrama and I was at Surbi Kunj when I saw Guru Maharaj first time. And it was like amazing experience. You know, there were, I think, 400 or 500, maybe more devotees. Everything was jam-packed and everyone, as soon as Guru Maharaj entered, everyone was jumping, dancing like anything. It was such a special moment when I got Guru Maharaj darshan.
Oh wow, that's a very special place to get darshan.
Yeah.
This is actually where he belongs. That Surabhi Kunj, that whole area. That's where he belongs. With his Namata preaching. Yes. Wow. That's nice.
I was remembering the, Parikrama when you're talking about Bhakti Nityananda Maharaj, because, like every time I used to go for Parikrama, Maharaj used to be there. And one time he was doing a drama, he played the role of Prabhupada. And then there was another devotee playing role of Mayavadi. At one point, Maharaj went into, the role of Prabhupada so much he wanted to slap the devotee. At that moment he realized, oh,
this is drama.
Only, not Mayavadi. So many memories, wonderful things. Thank you for, yeah.
Oh, nice. A similar experience. Very good. Yes.
Thank you very for sharing and making me remember all the wonderful pastimes.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavad pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll thank Prabhuji one time by chanting Hare Krishna. Prabhuji has given us wonderful katha. Archita Mataji, are you saying something? Yeah. Okay, maybe she. So we'll chant one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra and thank Prabhuji for such wonderful katha. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Rama,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Dandavad pranam, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Gurudev ki jai, Shri
Jai.
So I think you have a lot more pastimes to share, Prabhuji. So in future again, we would like to invite you for session 2, where you can maybe share more.
Sure. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. This is wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And there is a comment, is class regular weekly or how is it? So it happens on every Thursday, 8 p.m. IST. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavad pranam.
Dandavat pranam, sir.
Thank you, Prabhuji.